know my mama proud, moving at the speed of sound. Trying to strike it reach. So I'ma take that risk, baby. That risk. Trying to strike it reach. I'ma take it.
It is time to get into the action. Game 2 on the B stream begins now. Thank you for your patience. Ninjas in Pajamas will be on the CT side. Gaimin Gladiators may or may not be in pajamas, but they will be on the T side. Where are the P250s? There should be laws and fines if you don't have a P250 on a pistol round on the T side. Oh, maybe they don't need it. They've got the range to exchange. Short has been opened up then. Snappy quietly making his way into a position to perhaps mount a defense as Kaspersky spots more in mid.
Yeah, good push by the NiP side on Cat. Snappy's still there. He's able to fall off though safely. Maybe he can get another headshot, peel off one more. Also pressure coming from the back there on Cat from the rest of the NiP squad. Kaspersky, who's been the talisman of the team, is now pressuring Phelps. And that's a great cleanup. That's what you want to see. The CT's kind of getting in front of the push straight away is always a good sign. I mean, I feel like, that Cat push, James, it's always nice on the CT side because if you're wrong and it's not a play towards the A side of the map, you got the fastest rotation to B. So it feels like such a good opening.
Yeah, it's not too shabby at all. Out is out for Henny. And off angle's really good to see if there are any CTs charging up mid.
Back away.
No util for the Gladiators. Pop flash through the mid doors can be quite handy, but we won't see one on this occasion. They've managed to secure short position here, which is very curious. Of course, you want to put distance between yourself and echoing players. Perhaps they're not expecting the force buy and won't be too concerned with this position. Kaspersky with the big M4A4. Ready to do what needs to be done.
Scout is dangerous on Henny. It really is. We saw it yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. The days blurred together. But either way. Already taking Kaspersky down to 56 health. And the CTs forcing the Ts here to go through the choke point. Snappy, the only person for information. Uh-oh. That's a little scary. But is still up. And now forced into the B sites. It's not really working out for the T side. Really nicely handled by the NiP team, not giving any options at all, not giving them what they want, but taking it away instead.
I respect the discipline from Gaimin Gladiators, and I think that is telling of the task they have on their hands here in the vacuum of this series. This is a formidable opponent for them, much higher ranked, much higher expectations, I think, for most watching. It is every round they're going to be trying to find every little edge they can. Oh, flip knives are still underrated. They're so good. We will see Gaimin Gladiators on the buy. The AKs will be out for the most part. Reasonable util as well. And again, good discipline, good level of detail we're seeing from them, which will definitely be necessary if they are to come out on top in this series.
The mid take coming on through here for the T side. And once again, another very passive round from NiP, which I think is a very interesting thing to show your opponents early on. And to be honest, looking at the last Dust2 Gaimin Gladiators played, they took a lot of duels around the mid position, and they loved going through those double doors, taking these fights. Hello, Kaspersky. That's a great find on Henny, no less. But yeah, if you void that position, you just don't give the opportunity for the T side to get those picks. You sacrifice some space and information But with that kill, they're going to let Snappy push the long doors, and this could not be more perfect for NiP.
It's exactly what you need to do from that range with the MP9. And now he's just wasting time. He's forced the bomb carrier to come away as well, and that's going to completely kill the round. Do they really pursue something here with 15 seconds on the clock? NiP not shy to take liberties from Gaimin Gladiators, and that's something they'll have to be careful of in the mid to late round. If there is hesitation, there may be exploitation coming the way of NiP. Man like Wrinkle, expecting big things from him today. If I'm Gaimin Gladiators, I want Henny on your ASAP at all times. I'm eco for AWP in the pistol. I want it that bad if I'm Henny. That may not be professional advice. My advice is unlicensed, therefore you cannot sue me. 2 smokes, no flashes for a potential execute from Gaimin Gladiators. So again, if they establish their map control and they are considering their options, looks like it will be a late one. But this is difficult for the CTs as well. Again, where do you put that third man to make one of the holds a little stronger? It is guesswork. Kern's going to be looking in CT. He'll have a flash as well, so he can offer some support to this B site. Okay, if it was a bit quiet for you there, Dan's got a tech issue. We can hear him, but you can't hear him. So he was saying lots of things, and I promise you they were interesting. But I will take over for the time being while that is solved. But this is, I think, one of the problems here for Gaimin Gladiators. They don't have a pick. Again, you need to try and find that pick and manipulate the CT forces. Kern isn't really compelled to be further away from that B bomb site. Gaimin Gladiators are handily dealt with. But again, like we're into round 5 now. I need to see an AWP on Henny. I don't want to see these scouts. I want to see an AWP. And if he has an AWP earlier in this half, then perhaps we see those openings. We see more opportunity for a 5-on-4 for Gaimin Gladiators. That is something that has been lacking, I feel like. So it will be the pistols for round 5. He's got 3150 in the bank, does Henny. So no doubt in the next round, he will have his AWP. Should we test your audio, Dan, while this test round is happening?
Am I good? Am I back? Lovely. I think I'm back.
Yeah, the tech is happy.
The gremlins.
Maybe the viewers aren't.
The systems. Maybe not. Yeah, this is a great CT side so far from NiP. I think that they're reading the game super well. Their opening strategy of how they are not giving fights to their opponents, they're starving them out in the ways that, Gaimin Gladiators want to find them, that they just can't get them. So NiP just with the huge strategical edge right now. And then, we saw also on that round or that buy round where they took cat control. the T side. Then they went back to B. It was all fully red. So right now, Gaimin Gladiators with a real problem on their hands.
Quick pop, and that's not the start they were looking for. Playing the spawn, and Henny will rescue the AWP. That's going to be pretty important. But yeah, 0-5 on your pick, 4v5 on your first real buy round, in my opinion. It is Dust2 after all. It's almost half of the half where Henny hasn't had an AWP. On the T side, no less. That just ain't right, if you ask me. NiP's on an island. If they push, he will not survive. There's just too many of them, but how many can he take? Crouch peek from Nekes will be enough. Doesn't collect the first one, but sees plenty of info. Multiple assailants and the bomb. That's great info for the squad, who are in a 4 versus 4 now. So long has been taken. There's a minute on the clock. We often see a hold for a while in this position when long's taken by a T side. We have Lucan in that mid position. But what do Gaimin Gladiators do now? Phelps is creeping up, looking for his first frag of the round.
Cross is successful, and this could be a tricky situation for Gaimin Gladiators. I think NiP very ready, but actually no idea about Phelps having the capacity to cross there. So that's going to create the opening that they were looking for. Ken there by Gandalf really needs a good performance, but might want to play off of her teammates. Just jiggling this position. Beautiful kill, taking down Nekes. 17 seconds to plant the bomb. Now time is becoming a problem. Wrinkle laying down the fire, but it is Ken once again to delay things here. 10 seconds. If Wrinkle can find a way to delay the plant here with this shot, he might have it all, but he is going to get pushed. Lucan not going to allow him to try to even clutch this one out, and it's a scary round, but it is the first on the board for Gaimin Gladiators, at least.
Yeah, that position from Phelps was extremely sneaky and opened everything up for the squad. And it's good to see them find a way back from a 4 versus 5, because those rounds are so tough to recover from. The percentages are really bad. So they'll find their first round. It's a lot of money spent by the CT side. And Snappy's face already looks like he's tired of hearing your bullshit, you know? He's just looks a bit fed up. But I mean, again, they had so much stress yesterday, and maybe those cortisol levels are starting to rise once again.
This is tough, man. I mean, when you get a strong CT side, it's kind of harrowing to have to repeat it. So they really need to stop this right now, Gaimin Gladiators. Wrinkle has been the commander of A long. So far, he's going to play from car, giving up the long position. Okay, we're going to do a match medic restart. Okay. Hopefully, there is no technical pause that lasts more than 2 seconds, James. That's what I'd like. That's what I will allow. It's already exceeded 2 seconds, though.
The body language after losing one round here for NiP just makes me think of that comment from Snappy that they're one team in practice, but in a competitive environment, they're not really reaching that level at the moment. So it does look like feelings of frustration for the squad, which is reasonable. Perhaps it's psychological. But hey, they had a very difficult day yesterday, and they were still standing at the end of it.
Fast play, though, too long. This is a change of pace, and Wrinkle goes down. That flick, he might feel a bit robbed on that one. That looks pretty good, but the smoke is down just as fast, and now across to the side, Nekes looking for more entries. And this time, Ken is taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have that Gandalf position to work from. And this site is going to be given up with plenty of time to play with here for the Gaimin Gladiators side. The switch of pace has really worked out for them so far.
That reload will be heard. Phelps knows exactly where they are. He's looking for the play. I think that reload gave the game away there, but the rest of the CTs are delivering. 3-on-3. Bomb not planted just yet. I think Kenny was waiting to be in a post-plant position, but now the smokes are fading. There'll be more CTs to have a look. That's a very nice HE though, and Snappy's been spotted by Lucan after the initial engagement from Henny. That leaves Shush in a 1 versus 3. Too many man on roads, and that might just break that CT economy. Again, Phelps on the site, about to plant that bomb, heard the reload below and expected the boost and essentially baited them. Critical info given away there by NiP. That was all the info he needed. Traded by the nade, but NiP couldn't keep a grasp on that round.
And I think importantly, we're seeing a switch up of gears that's possible from Gaimin Gladiators. You know, they were kind of getting exploited originally with the slow-paced kind of pick-oriented style. And then they have now shown that they can take positions aggressively. They can speed up the timings pretty rapidly. And it's worked out quite well for them, maybe even catching NiP off guard. So 2 rounds, broken economy, and every opportunity now to take command of this half at the very least. CTs will try to do some damage with this hodgepodge buy, but you'd expect Gaimin Gladiators should be able to handle it. They are cleaning up these initial positions around mid on their side of the map.
I think on the CT side, you know, there are some positions where you may opt for a pistol with more bullets if, like, let's say apartments on Inferno or something. You know, places where you're likely to have multiple people, not just one. I think I prefer the 5.7 to the Julies. Julies make a lot more noise, but the 5.7 is so good. Armor penetration is incredible. Slightly better range when there are no helmets on those Julies. Jewel Elites.
He's dead.
I love seeing, you know, Counter-Strike timing like that, but it does really hurt me. Even though, even if I'm just bearing witness, it hurts. When the moment someone turns away, the angle they were holding, someone appears immediately. And when it happens in like matchmaking or something, you just wonder, you know, you just have the doubt button pressed at all times.
True. You know, Counter-Strike timing is I feel like it's probably analogous to real life too. In what ways are we getting Counter-Strike timing in real life, I wonder?
There needs to be an article in the New Scientist about Counter-Strike timing.
True. Okay, well, you know, NiP looking to be more focused on the long defense this time around. But after the threat, to try to keep those long players there with all the util, it's a fast cat switch up, but Wrinkle's in place, and Ken picks up one as well. So this is a problem right now for Gaimin Gladiators. They've got to keep the pace up. They can't lose players for free and get nothing in return. So they will keep storming onto the A site. And so far, NiP have repositioned around it, and they are looking to consolidate this advantage.
Dangerous waters. On plant becomes crucial now. Is there any damage to be done here? Turn rounding the corner. Some sound cues for Yoto, and that will certainly help. Oh my word. Hold on a second. Things are changing very quickly indeed now. And he tries to make some space for himself. He's got 2 bullets, but no more health. Wow. Definitely threatening. Keeping the CT spending, which is also notable because surviving with 5 would make for a very different scenario. Delayed defuse to collect the scraps. NiP will be off and on their feet again after some very brutal rounds.
Wow, I didn't even realize that Ken got that from mid there. That's really nice. There's a cool round from Gaimin Gladiators too. You know, they're trying to play on the fear that they've instilled into NiP of we can hit long really fast and be successful. So they make it look like they're doing that, but then they just get the timing onto Cat, fully expecting it to be an easy take and an easy trade, because there should be no more than one player there, which was correct, but pick from Ken really did a lot. So we'll see what the opening is now for Gaimin Gladiators. Perhaps just looking to just go for this default cat control as you tend to see, but it does take some time to work into that.
CTs now throwing that mid door smoke. That can't be blocked if there are CTs running up mid.
Back to the earlier, shenanigans from Gaimin Gladiators, looking for the picks. They're holding that, that mid take timing. See if they can catch any info plays. Nice HE there. And you can see that right now, given that no cat control has really been asserted fully, NiP also worried about long, so they're expecting maybe a late long take, mollying that, falling back. I think NiP not 100% sure what's going on right now, but set up to deal with the mid split as well, or the play out of the double doors. Kaspersky playing anti-flash. Shush with the first kill, unleashing Kaspersky onto Nekiz. And now Shush is going to have to do it, but he can't. And the rest of the team is blocked off by smokes here. This is a good opportunity now for Gaimin Gladiators.
All three out of position. Almost feels like a game of train with how little info there is for the CTs. Great angle from Henny. Almost collected a second one. Lucan, Henny, and Yota, or Jota, or Hota. Outpositioned 3 NiP players there. They've got to try and keep what they have for the round to come. Gaimin Gladiators keeping it a little closer. Again, this is their pick. I wonder what the mark for success is in terms of rounds on their T side. Either way, they move to 4.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, really well played by Gaimin Gladiators to unlock this position late into the round. And I think what we're seeing here is a good diversity from them. You can see NiP in that round, the way that they were trying to interpret the late round timings. Is they're like, okay, well, they haven't done like a heavy gat take, so we're expecting it's either going to be some kind of B play or a late long take. And they were prepared, but again, like sometimes you're just not going to get all of the frags delivered that you need as well. So now we go back to the fast long take for real this time from Gaimin Gladiators. That's going to force CT side back, and they're not in the best positions to challenge long, but they can hold onto the site and look at the push up mid. Oh, Henny with the whiff as well, and at least Lucan is there to deliver the kill onto Kaspersky. But now what do we do? We've got the long position, but you've got to build from this. Do you pivot or do you scale slowly into A?
That was starting to look like a really good response from NiP, but again, the awareness from the Gladiators was great. Lucan finishing off the job there, which leaves Kern on an island, although Shush is coming to help as well, of course, in that short position, which is so important, and they hold on to that. Otherwise, they don't really stand a chance of defending this bomb site. No one's coming to challenge, but we've seen slow lurks from them before. And Lucan is looking to threaten such. Wrinkle with the AWP still over towards B halls. His rotation will be a very long one. But if Kern is forced to engage on short, then maybe he'll speed things up. Kern is deleted by Phelps. There's just too much that needs to be done for the CTs here. Looking to support the A bomb site, but after that player in mid is picked, there just aren't enough personnel to get anything done here for NiP.
Bomb has been planted.
Gladiators showing why they've picked Dust2. Stronghold for them. Hunt is on then for Wrinkle. I think they'll be buying no matter how many are lost. Look at them stream down on the radar. He's got $200. They've got a lot more.
Uh-oh. They're getting closer and closer to Wrinkle here. Really, really need this orb to stay alive. It's going to be tough. And talking about Counter-Strike timing, there we go. Shot in the back of the head. And yeah, I think you definitely got to give it to Gaimin Gladiators. Not a one-dimensional T side by any means. Multi-dimensional, different timings, pacings, creating some expectation from the CT for the CTs, playing off of that expectation. Really doing a great job in just also being confident that even when they were losing rounds, hey, we are getting value from these lost rounds. We are, showing certain things to the CTs, and we're going to exploit that later on. Now, a nice connection onto Wrinkle from Henny through the door, puts him down to 8 HP as they're looking to tie this one up. 6-6 at the end of the first half. Can they do it?
Playing a dangerous game there, Shush. The whole round is dangerous with what they're lacking. High chance of a tied score at halftime here. See Lucan looking for the trade fragger, dodging the flash. Being very, very careful. Limiting where the CTs can stand. That smoke is a clue, though. Still 5 players standing for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Kern will be the first to fall. Round looking pretty much secure now, as the main threat's been eliminated. So back and forth affair in the first half of Dust2, but Gaimin Gladiators look to tie the score at halftime on their pick of Dust2. Competitive from the get-go. See who wins the pistol after the break.
Well, welcome back, everybody. A nice comeback for the Gaimin Gladiators here on Dust2, so that they are able to tie up the score to 6-6 against NiP, who were having a great
Has
start
anyone
on
been
that CT
sleeping?
side.
Everyone's yawning. Just massive
is it-
yawns like cats.
Is it fatigue or is it adrenaline, which can also trigger yawning, James?
Yeah, actually, whenever I went to my personal trainer, when I had one briefly, I would just start yawning immediately. And I was like, I don't know why, but he knew why though, so that was good. Didn't want him to think it was something offensive. No P250s. This makes me sad. It's my favorite weapon. It's the best gun in the game. It's the most balanced. It's perfect. It's everything it needs to be and nothing more. Stops at range, has many targets to look for. So does Henny. They're all jumping, trying to avoid the headshot, but they are getting absolutely lit up. Oh my word. He was clicking so fast his webcam fell off.
Happened yesterday too as well. He's smashing the webcam.
Fisted an all-star when they just start throwing the punches and screaming. That was for me anyway. This will be a dry round then for Ninjas in Pajamas. Snappy will pick up the scout once again.
Important map as well, I think, for Gaming Gladiators to win is their pick, which I think, you know, it is definitely significant in the sense that I think that if you look at the statistics and just the comfort level, it definitely is aligned with each side's respective pick. And it's Ancient is even territory, which is the finisher. So we'll see if Jota can easily dispatch of Shush. I mean, you'd imagine so. Pretty big advantage. The flash from a teammate there. He's getting teased though. Another flash. Oh my god, it's actually so well played by NiP.
Yeah, this is definitely a must-win map for Gaming Gladiators. They are 33% on Nuke. The pick of the Ninjas, who are 64%.
The Ninjas.
But for NiP, I feel like it could be a 2-0. Ancient Gladiators are 80% with 5 maps played, so they've won 4 or 5 maps. 64 maps with 11 maps played. So I don't think those stats are necessarily too comparable. I don't think we can really read anything into those. 20 seconds. NiP must die. Oh, neck is... That timing is painful. Phelps trying to do what he can, but there are guns to collect. There is position. There might be even some utility. I don't think Neck has even got to throw that one. Looking close to the site, though. 2 versus 3. This would be a bad round to lose.
NiP in such a crazy strong spot right now as well. They can pick up so many guns. Here comes the peeking, and got to be really careful. But use the clock to your advantage as well, as best you can. Trade comes on 3 on the window player. Wrinkle causing problems. Out come the dualies for Henny. Oh, nice shot onto Wrinkle, tapping away, but it's Snappy with the scout headshot onto Henny. And oh man, NiP, they looked really confident in this round, and I mean, you can see why. I think they completely caught, I think in multiple ways on the cat play and also the entry to B, they caught Gaming Gladiators kind of sleeping.
I am the danger, says Snappy. You know, we spoke about the scout and the lack of important frags with it in many a round. That was certainly a very important one. Somehow dodging those Julie bullets. This is a key turning point, and it's so early in the half. But really, this, I mean, we're talking about momentum. You can feel control slipping away and going to the enemy. 7 apiece, double scouts now in the full spy for Gaming Gladiators. It's tough on the CT side. Look how well equipped NiP are. Wrinkle with the AWP. Four over towards A. Neck is maimed on the way to B. Having a look-see. Forcing them deep. That's what the buddy system's for. Someone's got to be covering that angle. Phelps now picking up the AK is going to be a big problem for the Ninjas.
Oh, wow. AK-47 upgrades as well to be had. Massive win there for the CT side, but NiP realizing they could have a positional timing here. Do they have a smoke for this? They need to smoke this position, to spray through the smoke. Not going to find the second player, but at the very least, Ken will survive. And 3 players getting kind of low on HP at the moment, so there is a real opportunity back into this round to save NiP from disaster. But as they make their way up cat, Lucan, very healthy on the scout. He could really delay this.
So important to make a connection there. They're closing in on him now. Scope's gone too far. And then NiP might be stabilizing. See Phelps make his way into the pit. 2 on 3. There's opportunity. The bomb's only just been planted. There's no kit, but there is a chance, as slim as it is. Neck is rotating over to long. A lot lying on Phelps' shoulders now. Showing a bit too much skin, though. Will there be anything for Neckers to rescue? Just a lowly scout, then. A bit more mileage than I thought they might do here. Gaimin Gladiators. And if Neckers can hold this position, let's see if they dispose of the rifle. Oh, they're all coming his way, so nothing will be taken whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely a decent amount of mileage. And, you know, it's also crazy that it was a 3v5 a 3v5 situation that NiP were able to recover from. I mean, that's impressive in of itself too. And honestly, the fact that, you know, when they went for that mid peak and they were just taking the open engagement, they didn't lose a player there. You know, it's definitely a lot went wrong for Gaimin Gladiators, and they'll take another timeout. That's 2 timeouts, I think, back to back for them. So the start of this second half is suddenly just completely falling apart.
Yeah, but they know this is a must win. This is a must win map for them. They are all most likely smoked if this goes wrong. And NiP were fortunate to escape that situation where they lost one player in isolation. You could see him swinging towards the ramp position. He needed someone holding that long corner for him. I don't know if the second man ate a flashbang or something. But he was isolated facing 2. And yeah, that could have been worse for NiP. The Gaimin Gladiators could not take it all the way. And you can see on their faces how important that is on the Gladiators. There's no world where Dust2 can be a lost map for them, in my opinion.
Very tight match. But the thing is that the T side it can really, really get going. The CT economy is so difficult to maintain, and especially with rounds like this where you win the pistol, then lose the following one. It just is devastating for your ability to buy consecutively or to build any amount of reserves. And so right now, even though it's 8-7, I think the expectation is that NiP could actually get game or map winning momentum off of this. So definitely a very, very difficult position for Gaimin Gladiators. And they're stacking B. They're going to walk through as well.
Going to walk through with their USPs. This should be NiP on 9. See what the money's like afterwards for the Gladiators. They can rescue a rifle here. NiP doesn't seem to think so. So yeah, I think everything lies on Dust2 for Gaimin Gladiators. So the pressure will be very, very high immediately. I think it's all but guaranteed. Most of the time, let's say, for Nuke to go the way of NiP. But you never know. They could be in for a nasty surprise. But there's a little room for Gaimin Gladiators to mount a comeback and find a way to take control of this once again.
Terrorists win.
Everything's going according to plan for NiP. You know, very comfortable position for them. I think as well, you know, you're not going to take the comfortable positions, or hopefully they shouldn't be taking the comfortable positions for granted and getting complacent. You know, if you're NiP, you want to be as dominant as possible, shut things down. They've had so many scenarios in the previous days where they, you know, losing matches, you know, just giving up rounds they shouldn't, or being in a position where they might just die completely. I'm hoping that for them, we'll see them full focus, and indeed Jota It's going to take down Shush. But Wrinkle will get forced back as well by the following HE. So good start for Gaimin Gladiators. They need this round so badly. They don't even have an AWP.
Neko's over towards B, has the smoke. Henny over towards A, has the smoke. You can see, oh, it's giving me motion sickness. Well, there's over a minute on the clock here, so not much concern for the Ninjas. Still 3 towards B. Does anybody look for a little more info for Gaimin Gladiators, or do they gamble? It looks like they're essentially playing retake, as we see a second player make their way over towards long, abandoning the A bomb site completely. Heavy artillery for Ninjas in Pajamas to throw to take this site. Now, what is the choice of Gaimin Gladiators? They've got possession of long. They've got 5 people up versus the 4 of NiP. They've chosen to play it safe as far as A is concerned. They have some util for the retake, and they're going to use it.
Wow.
Oh!
Amazing stuff from Wrinkle. Actually anticipating the second flash too. He is holding his ground. That is expert stuff. And Ken also able to support. That is so beautiful. There's such good response time. And with the AWP as well, that's a big swipe. That's a big swipe on the mousepad.
Yeah, that's the Wrinkle that we were looking for from the beginning of this one. More difficult shots made easy. Made to look easy by Wrinkle. Really nice stuff. Close enough to hear the flashes being deployed, I suppose. That was a very handy deconstruction of the Gaimin Gladiators idea to secure that round. And things are looking very difficult for them indeed. I did think they would need to find a new level to overcome Ninjas in Pajamas here. But their heads are being kept below water on Dust2 at the moment.
Yeah, you can tell that they're feeling good at the moment. I think NiP don't tend to, compared to some other teams, I think show as much break from the tension, as much relief, as much like we're not getting VSM on the camera here, for example. There's no joyousness, there's no smiling, there's no aura of positivity in the way that we see from Pain Gaming, but it does look more relaxed for NiP, that is for certain. 11-7 on their opponent's map pick right now on the T side of Dust2 with a good bank of money, and their opponents with nothing in the bank at this point. Henny will be back on the AWP, so that is something going for Gaimin Gladiators, but I mean, what is he able to do with it? So far, all the confidence is with NiP, and Wrinkle is really firing off at the moment, so we'll see if Henny is put in a position to succeed.
It's harder sometimes when there are multiple targets, but the HE is useful to obscure the vision as well. Oh, very nice from Henny. And he needs to be nice. 4 rounds behind and counting. See if the HE will follow up. Kaspersky's got to pick the right side to go, and he does. Will they pursue this position further? And he's hungry for more.
In the meantime, we have a creep out of long, and Jota's in a very, very deep position in the pit. We'll see if he's cleared here. You have to go very wide to see him, potentially, depending on how he's peeking. So he's tucked back in now. And Shush, will he realize? And Lucan has a perfect base setup too. He can just get some attention. It goes down straight away. Will they expect Jota to be here? Jota looks like he's going to be undiscovered. He might have 3 kills on his hands if he is patient. The trigger discipline now coming into full effect as Jota looks to maximize the opportunity with the M4. And they line up, and now one more player to deal with. Snappy is able to take him down, but it's all too much. Gaimin Gladiators, they're back in this one.
Great trigger discipline there. Really important round. Being 3 standing as well. Mega crucial for the squad. Plenty of money for the Ninjas. But again, it's not that many rounds that the Gladiators need to string together here. Just need to limit the mistakes. Very wobbly legs.
Yeah.
That's a discipline dump.
That was really I don't know why that really tickled me.
Simple man to please.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's like one of the fun thing in video games is just like stuff just looks weird sometimes. By the way, we're back in it, and Hedy, we talked about the AWP being a key factor. He definitely made that felt in the previous round. So Wrinkle looking to best him, I'm sure. And he posted up on the exact same position, but this time he is making cover for his teammates' forward push here. Lucan, the first contact, standing on the ledge. I mean, NiP, they're going to be really in a world of hurt potentially here. Surprise, 2 players down for NiP. Kaspersky able to trade 1. Fel's still out there though, and Wrinkle, he is in a dangerous position, and he's smoked off though. A 2v3 here for the CT side to work, or for the T side to work with. Over a minute left, there's a lot of space on the map here, but this is going to be hard.
Yeah, the question is, how do they close in on a bomb site without being spotted on the way? Oh, this is so disrespectful from Henny. Great play from him. That leaves Wrinkle in the clutch then. Gave that EWP away. Based on health. And that's one more for the Gladiators. Denying the bomb plants as well. It's getting scrappy now for NiP. They need to try and take control of this map once again. High-risk plays. Wrinkle pretty consistent with that tag. Same could be said for Henny. There's that smoke again. Can't block that one. Money is running out for the Ninjas now. Maybe an eco territory if they capitulate on this one. It is an urgent round for both squads. Maybe it determines who wins or loses this map if there is a win by elimination.
So cat control is secured now, and this is that point where does the T side look to pivot into B? They will like pressure the B split, which should bring a CT player into spawn. It's a fairly common response. Effectively, weakening slightly the A hold. And they can re-hit that B mid plate, or they can go up through cat onto the A side. These are the 2 options now. They're really making Gaimin Gladiators sweat this one out. 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's no nades coming through towards mid, which will keep Lucan close to the safe bomb site as the 3rd man. T's starting to stream in now, but there's so many flames, and Jota just keeps running into them. Still standing for the time being. 15 seconds to get that bomb planted, and 5 CTs are still standing. 2 of them waiting to swing on the site. Bombs being planted for short. There is cover. There'll have to be a retake then for the CTs. A quick peek and burst, but Wrinkle's got a great angle to punish Jota. Lucan's here now looking for a second. They move through Gladiators, leaving Wrinkle and Kaspersky as the last 2. The retake is looking successful, and Wrinkle may have to hold on to the orb here. The bomb, I think, is planted for short, but how can he peek and survive and stop that bomb from being defused? Don't see it happening this time. Gaimin Gladiators move to 10.
And once again, it's Henny that's delivering these key kills. 3 kills with the AWP in that round. And, I think he's 19 and 10. So he is definitely ahead of the pack in terms of the frags. And here is number 1. Number 2. Yeah, Henny doing great work. And we're getting really close to a tied game now. Gaimin Gladiators are going to be up against another buy, but it's a little bit lackluster in some cases. A couple Galils and Mac 10 spotted. Wrinkle repositioning. Not looking for that suicide play, but instead, the lower dark angle to catwalk. Maybe expecting to see a CT play early. But it's a 2-1-2 setup for the Gaming Gladiators side. Meaning nobody cats. And actually, this is a great setup to defend a B play, which NiP have not really gone to very often. But in this round, they will, and Gaming Gladiators are set up to defend.
Yeah, they're not doing much to manipulate that third person in this round or the prior one. They will absolutely be ready. Great angles for the CT side, and Ninjas in Pajamas are going to get utterly mowed down. Barely making it onto the bomb site there. Just essentially a contact play into B. 3 players already in waiting. No presence through mid of the last 2 rounds. And the Gladiators have had that third guy in the right place in both rounds, which makes such a colossal difference. Just trying to deal with 1 or 2 players, and out comes the third one. And they all fall down.
And plays like that sometimes look frustrating to look at. It's like, oh man, why do they all just like run through the B tons? And you know, it looks kind of silly when you get shut down like that in a choke point. But at the same time, I think what they were doing is they were playing off of the expected timings. You know, their expected timing was that they would be on catwalk during that time. And when the team's on catwalk, the CT side needs to have someone kind of watching mid. And at most, you're probably facing 2 players in B. Most likely, that's the worst case scenario. Not 3 players who almost seem to expect that you're coming. So really great read if it was a read from Gaming Gladiators. And for NiP, they're now in a troubling position. They finally lost their money at the worst time. Oh no, that is criminal.
Scout's doing work. Snappy is the man, it seems. Got a chance at rescuing this rifle as well. Maybe they go beyond it, a swing and a miss. And that allows them to just surge towards that B bomb site. Kern's in position also. There are problems for Neckers. They've done well to get this far, Gladiators, but Neckers has got so much to do now. Trying to reposition, trying to keep moving. But there will be 3 players on the bomb site. What will they have to play with? Scouts and 2 rifles. There's a lot of retake utility here for the CTs. They need to use it well. They need to win their duels. They can't fall at this point after tying the score.
Got coming in from the B-tons. That's a great smoke there. That's going to allow him to get close and play off the contact of his teammates. Now he needs the teammates to distract. There comes the flashbang for that. Lucan makes the shots. That allows Jota to come out of the dark position, looking to see what he can find. But it's great fragging there from Gaming Gladiators. What a beautiful retake setup. They all played it perfectly.
Oh, dearie me. 1,000-yard stairs are returning for the Ninjas. They have to feel like if they secure this game, it's in the bag in general. Good opening by Snappy. The way they were gifted entry into B as well through TT, they had all the tools. Once they got onto the site, the numbers, that was a solid retake for the Gladiators. These are the tests that we want to see them passing as well as an underdog for me in this series. Doing it the hard way for Gladiators, the awkward way, if you will. Of course, for NiP to get that far was the hard way as well. But we've seen those rounds lost by the team with the rifles. Not this time for Gladiators. They make it to game point. Dust2 a must win for them, and they are 1 round away from that.
Lucan searching. There's nothing to find. Not yet. At least Ken is going to be lurking from lower dark, but the rest of the team now making their way up onto the Cat's position, looking to try to plant this bomb. Short control is the name of the game here. They've got Wrinkle holding that. We've seen him do a great job in that. But a lot of CTs, in fact, every CT now, they are smoked off here, coming from CT to site, so they might go back around Cat, but that is indeed precisely what NiP want them to do. Lucan will creep his way through. In fact, it seems like they weren't 100% sure who should go where, but finally they start to make their approach now to try to retake this bomb site and just try to win this game outright, but NiP are in really good stead to force the overtime now. Jota, 1v1 against Snappy goes well, but more to be done. Wrinkle with the whiff. Glocky's going to do the damage. Now Wrinkle has to stop everything. The bomb is barely ticked here. I don't know that there's time for this one. The frag comes in from Lucan, but the defuse is not in time. And that is overtime now secured. We go again here on Dust2.
All remaining CTs in CT spawn for the retake. Smokes being thrown everywhere by ninjas is such a bad spot for them to be in. All that utility as well as the inferior position just took too long to get there. It's a complicated problem to solve. It requires time that they don't have. And to overtime we go. Whew, my word. Ferrari peak from Wrinkle. Great way to begin. Shush understands the trajectory. Now, is there a flash? Lucan's got no flash to support Jota in this position. He's on his own. There's no help coming for him. Can he get anything out of it, though? He cannot. Normally, your sniper by the car will often have flashes to help you. But of course, Henny went for a play and got deleted by Wrinkle. Phelps and Lucan remain, and Phelps has done what he can to give Lucan a chance.
NiP are probably sick of these overtimes, man. They are sick of these overtimes. At least it's not an overtime for elimination, which is what they had yesterday.
What if they all line up, Dan? What if they all line up for him?
What if? Yeah. Lucan, I mean, there is a world. There's a timing here for him. You'd have to imagine. Yeah, okay. Wrinkle's going to watch the flag. So the 1% play there, not going to happen. And NiP get to start things off nicely then. Here's Wrinkle. Oh. Strong start to the overtime affair. Like you said, James, Gaimin Gladiators really need to pick this one up. They really need this Dust2 in the bag.
Such a quick pick from Wrinkle. I watched that POV back later. It was so lightning fast. Important at a time like this. Again, though, this is the pick of Gaimin Gladiators, who opt for a second AWP to mix things up in overtime. They did well to claw things back when it wasn't looking so rosy for them. Able to head towards be unscathed on this occasion. Here we go. Good support from Nekiz. Now, they won't necessarily know that that is a second AWP. Although, how often do you see Henny on B of Dust2 at the beginning of the round? Could be a flashpoint at long as well. The smoke's about to dissipate, and Jota and Shush are there. There is a new smoke, so he will be slowed down. Hard to see through the flames. Lucan will position behind the smoke then, with Henny on the sights. And he's got no utility. Which may leave his teammate on an island once that smoke goes. And the support flashes can be so useful. If he only drops one, will it be enough? Well, there's the first one for Lucan, and it is the AWP to collect him. That leaves NiP with 3. 35 seconds on the clock. Maybe considering a play towards the B-bomb site now.
Wow, what a shot from Kaspersky. Dropping Henny from Yeah, it's all the way there, just so fast. And you can see they understand, okay, we're going A now. We are going A. Only one more player left to deal with. And they can probably realize that he's likely long based on how typical setups work here. They are searching the site just to make sure. And Jota is going to be looking for the defense. Gets shut down as well. And that pick from Kaspersky is everything there. Nekis dismantled. And all Phelps can do is just chill now in mid. There's just nothing left for him. Oh my god, that shot from Kaspersky.
I mean, he needs to save the AWP because Henny's got no money now. Still expensive in overtime if you're buying the big green. And yeah, that was a horrific shot from Henny's point of view. Dust2 slipping away from Gaimin Gladiators once again. That's an important frag. Be really short if somebody had to drop him an AWP. Nice. Kaspersky continues to push his stats. So important for the squad yesterday. A lot of people talking about this player. I think he had 70 frags in that double overtime. That's crazy.
$14-12. Looking good right now for the NiP side. Thank goodness the AWP was saved. Like you say, it makes its way back to the hands of Henny. And so default into mid continues for NiP. A very typical setup from the CT side as well. But they are deciding to kind of give up mid. Now, we might see a cat challenge here, which would work out nicely for NiP, but right now the weakness is the B split. So they threaten the B split, which might cause rotation. You can see that Lucan is going to be walking down towards CT spawn. Sometimes you get a couple layers of this, but actually NiP, they're just going to go for it off of the first smoke. Ooh, the second smoke doesn't come down soon enough, and just gets caught out.
It doesn't pull a rotation. Might pull people out of position on A, but those boxes will allow Lucan to hop back up again. 24 seconds, that smoke could be crucial, especially if he's able to find time to stand behind it, but he won't. That's Henny dropping the bomb carrier though. But have a look at Snappy and Kern changing the face of the A bomb site. The rotation is all that remains for Phelps and Nekes. Their teammates are gone. 0-3 half looks likely for them here on overtime. But maybe there is a way. Nekes heading towards long. Not one, but two players there, and Wrinkle is so good in these scenarios. That leaves Phelps with so much to do. He's got a kit and a flash. He's got to find that frag first. He could have dropped Kern there. Maybe he could have jumped on the boxes, but really, there is no way to rescue this one now. No one giving him anything that he wants. 15-12, 3 game points for NiP on Gaimin Gladiators' pick of Dust2, and they know what it means if they win this.
Yeah, they've got to. I mean, just having a lot of confidence to walk through onto the next series. And again, it's just such a stark contrast from how things were going against NRG, where they got completely blitzed on the first map and then had to slowly work their way back in just a horrible fashion that was likely very draining for them. But NiP, they take the time out because they want this to be over right now as quickly as possible. Just get it done, get it in the books. Don't let them come back. Shut them down. What should they do, James? Where should they go?
I do not hold the answers that these gentlemen need.
Well, they had a lot of really interesting approaches against Gaimin Gladiators in regulation. We had them playing quite passively, just not opening themselves up to picks, because Gaimin Gladiators seem to like to default to that approach. really trying to allow Henny to pick something up for them before they decide to eventually make a play. And that seemed to work out generally quite well. We'll have the long defense coming on through initially, and that's a really nice play because Phelps, he is still going to get a kill. Is there any trade to be had here? The HE comes in at perfect timing. Snappy will be able to equalize 4 versus 4, but still, the pace continues as mid now is breached by Gaimin Gladiators. They want to make a full use of this chaos, and Shush is going to be able to peel away one player.
Yeah, Lucan rounded the corner with his back showing, and that was all that was required. But this B bomb site needs to be executed on. How much info did Phelps get in those engagements towards A? I don't think he saw everybody, but Henny certainly will, and it's got to be the green light. He saw both of the remaining players. Time to get this bomb planted. It's all down to you two, Nekiz and Jota. Otherwise, Gaimin Gladiators are done for in this map. Snappy now in a 1 versus 2. With the kit, of course. But it's so oppressive to find these angles. And it'll be the same man punishing. 1 of 3 tests passed by Gaimin Gladiators. But there is plenty more work to be done.
They've done it before. Do it again. Must win Dust2. We'll see. Same opening from NiP. They're keeping that long position under control. This time Phelps is not dashing out though, so we won't get the chaotic beginnings that we had in the previous round. Lucan is making his way down middle. Oh no. That's not good.
Very early 4-on-5. Got to be careful about your positioning though. Can't stand there for free. That's why the pros spray so much. Not an easy shot to make where Wrinkle is standing. Often see a missed shot and a fall off. We'll see if he is challenged. Maybe pulled out of position actually by Khan needing assistance. Holding steadfast for now, though. I mean, they've lost long, so they have to hold on to shorts. And as Kern loses position on long and the fight, they've got to pursue. Instant trade, though. Will they expect Kern? Absolutely not. Oh, Phelps has got to be so careful, trying to be the hero for his team in this round. Looking to secure some more space for the squad. We've got Kaspersky jumping up. Not the result he was looking for. Phelps has got to stay alive. So many flashes. Henny delivers really down to the wire, but Gaimin Gladiators have found an advantage. They've got to commit to this bomb plant. Let's just go for a jump. It could be absolutely ruinous. HE will concede his position. He might have a chance at a 1v1 here, but as he looks to his left, Phelps emerges from the right. They're doing it.
They are doing it. NiP, man. They just want to win a game without an overtime. Oh no. Face meets hand. Okay, well, we get the same opening from NiP. Typical Dust2 stuff. Jota, though, taking some damage from the HE. And is forced back. Well, we get the walk here from Lucan. Trying to contact into the B side. Gets spotted, though, by the jump peeking, and they're going to be straight in there. The challenge from Shush is good for the one. Phelps isn't able to breach into the site, though. So space has not been converted, but they do get the 4v4, which is going to be nice to play with. However, they've got no map control, Gaimin Gladiators. They don't have catwalk, they don't have long, they don't have tunnels. And they've got to remedy that right now. There's a minute to go.
Phelps is using all his experience to keep his team in the fight. Wrinkle's got no util, so Snappy's on an island on long. as we've seen from both teams here. Gladiators have got to be really careful about their timing. Do NiP there have a look for information? Do they take a risk, or do they just stay essentially too precise? It's going to be a slow approach by the Gladiators as they flash out long. See Snappy now starting to jiggle, starting to shoulder peek, and he will drop him. Now, what does Wrinkle do? Does he go to duel on long? Can his teammates cover him on short in time? They're crossing over to the bomb site. He will commit to peeking over towards long. 20 seconds almost for them to make their way to the bomb site. This is a very slow approach, and they are getting punctured by Wrinkle. The race is on now, and still Phelps hasn't made his way up. He's been holding this entire time. There's 10 seconds, and he is shifting past the smoke. Death by paper cast. This is a brutal way to lose your pick of Dust2. That's it. Just a bit too stunted from the squad when they get to long, and Ninjas in Pajamas will take the pick away and move to what's surely going to be a very strong side on Nuke. You can do plenty on that map. You can try and do a mid take. You can take space towards B. You can be nuisance on A. All kinds of stuff you can do. It's a very engaging map, and I really, really hope they don't make it a bit crap.
Well, I'm glad that we're finally here. We're finally getting to see how this is going to play out. NiP are on the T side, so you know, it is, if it is the case that we get a good pistol from Gaimin Gladiators, they can at least start from that strong CT side economy, which can go pretty far in a map like this. But with that said, we're going to get the ramp play coming through from the NiP side, and there's not really anything in front of this. Jota's going to spot it, and he's just going to really get his teammates to rotate around this, which is very common for the CTs.
The odds for Gaimin Gladiators to win this map were crazy. Above 7, if you saw them. A heavy dog now. Bomb has been planted successfully. 5 on 5 still. And that clock is ticking. Crossfire is ready, but Shush has got other things to do. I've had a door closed and a CT start to swing. Kaspersky has got so much to do. Wrinkle will be left in a 1 versus 2. Did Kaspersky do enough to allow his teammate to finish off the job? The bomb is being defused. The body blocking is there as well. It's a long 10 seconds. He's got a little more and he will find it. Just in time. Wrinkle, nerves of steel, tap, tap, and NiP are all smiles.
All of the smiles. Yeah, it's looking like a nice start for them. You don't get much of a smile, but you get a little bit.
A little bit, a bottle of water, yeah?
A little bit. Kaspersky has been really awesome for this team too, and it's really cool. I think to see how consistent he's been for the roster, delivering some super key frags and just performances overall. But here we go into the second round, and this is not the best start for the CT side. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do with the force buy. Definitely options on this map. You've got lots of close ranges. They've got a setup in secret, but the only problem is that nobody's going secret or lower just yet.
Gaimin Gladiators have played Nuke versus 3D Max. They lost 13-4. Liquid, they lost 11-13. They lost to 9Z, 13-16. The other ones, their wins were in Brazilian Counter-Strike. They've also lost to Imperial, 5-13. So it's close, or they get deleted historically. We will see if today can be different. Lessons to be learned in many a loss. But again, I think when you look at things like that, you can see that the odds make sense. It is going to be a big mountain to climb to find success here. Someone's taking screenshots.
Terrorists win.
So Henny should be good to have the AWP when the buy round comes through, which is mega important again on Dust2. I think it was at least 5 rounds. The first 5 rounds, there was no AWP for Henny, which just isn't a good look, I think, when you've got that player on the team.
The warning shots. Exploding the door. I mean, who's willing to insure that door at this point? The insurance companies are going nowhere near that one. Quick glance on the lower side, and I mean, this round might just be over instantly. I love the pace on a round like this. It's pretty brazen because, you know, seeing a setup in a ramp is not uncommon, but the round is basically gone. And, you know, would you start a door insurance business, James?
Ooh,
Insure the doors?
I don't know. I mean, maybe in CS that would be. I'd be busy, but I mean, I'd be busy trying to find ways to not pay out for the doors, wouldn't I? Finding ways to invalidate claims, and I don't want to be that kind of person. So I'll leave door insurance to someone else.
You gotta be sure your door is safe in case the worst happens. Well, Gaimin Gladiators take a timeout instantly. So, fair enough. I mean, they've got a plan for this first buy round, I suppose. That's coming up. And, you know, Henny is going to be a key member. And I would imagine, too, that NiP, you know, that this is their opportunity to really start setting up their defaults, start conditioning their opponents. So we should take note of the timings that they play the round with and how they set up their smokes, how they are going to be pressuring the smokes as well, or maybe even voiding them completely. So this is where things really start to get real here now on Nuke.
Yeah, this is a really important round for Gaimin Gladiators. All eyes on them. See if they can survive the challenge which NiP will pose. A much more nuke-capable squad. NiP dropped, looking to be a prompt one into the A-bomb site, but getting the better of it for the time being. Great flick from Henny. Repositioning now as Kern looks for something outside and finds Phelps. All of a sudden, it's down to a 2-on-2. Henny caught on the site. With 1:20 on the clock, there are 3 players alive. One CT versus the world. Cannot stress how important this round is early for Gaimin Gladiators. It is about timing. There could be a chance. Spots Kern. Where is the bomb? That still needs to be rescued, and Wrinkle could be in a very nice position indeed. Very quick up the ladder. And that will be that. Last frag collected. That was an important round lost by Gaimin Gladiators.
I feel silly for my prediction now. NiP looking really great today. I was thinking Gaimin Gladiators would have a much better chance of this series. I don't think that they've played poorly, but I think NiP have exceeded my expectations so far. And that's always fun. And on the T side, a 4-0 start is blinding. Really nice. The initial outside smokes. Making pretty patterns. They are smoking the outside position, which is much better than when you smoke inside of an office, which we did years ago.
Oh, yes, we did do that for a video.
We got the fire department to come by.
We put a glove over the smoke alarm, but when we opened the window to let the smoke out, it went into the office above ours and set off their smoke alarm, which triggered the fire brigade to come.
They were not happy.
But the fire brigade were fine because, you know, they didn't mind having a reason to leave the whatever the place is that they're normally hanging out. But the woman who ran the office, the person, sex is irrelevant, the person who ran the office upstairs was a bit moany. So, like, they had an excuse to moan and be like, oh, You're lucky I'm not charging you for this because, you know, they interrupted their work a bit. Like, whatever, man. Jog on, boss. There are some problems here in the lobby for Ninjas as they try to keep a grip on this round. Maybe Kern is able to do that as they clear out the A-bomb site. A role reversal now as it's down to the CTs to retake. An AK and a FAMAS might be enough. It's a great start. Leaving Kaspersky. Find where these last two players are. Isolating the fight, but Phelps is ready. Phelps is really going to be a key player for Gaimin Gladiators if they are to have success here.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Important rounds to pick up. Important rounds here on Nuke. Got to string them together now, though. It's not out of the danger zone just yet. Danger zone.
Bomb has been planted.
Important clutch. They did lose quite a few players here, so their money is very vulnerable. That smoke go. And we get an upper rush. Just shock and awe. Perhaps from Shush, but no, actually gets put on pause for now, as the rest of the team make their way outside as well. Behind the smokes. And Phelps looking to meet this player. Gets caught in the side. The variance coming into play there, and then that triggers Shush to go out. And he finds a pick as well. 5v3. This is terrifying for the economy of Gaimin Gladiators. And there's another player here. And he gets traded, and the round is basically done at this point. Jota looking to just go to CT spawn. He just wishes it never happened. It's all a dream.
Very sharp aimers. Dismantling Gaimin Gladiators in that round. Just lethal with the AKs. That creates so much space outside for Kern to be a nuisance. Very snappy indeed. 5-1. NiP are storming in this first half. The Gladiators will be able to muster a buy, though. And you will have another AWP. They have enough to contest for this round, and Snappy is flying into the bomb site. Doesn't matter if he falls there, as long as his teammates clean up. He just full sends it, finds out the locations, and NiP will do the rest. 3-on-2. Henny and Jota last men standing. With the utility, they may not find angles on this site. Really, they need to be given something while they're outside. But I just don't see that happening. There are still more smokes to deploy. Kern drops the last one. This round is done for Gaimin Gladiators.
The worst has happened. 3 sets. And they punch the button, the timeout button. Teams these days make much better uses of their timeouts, I've got to say. There used to be, you know, back in the older days when we were casting, I remember sometimes being like, this team's getting absolutely wrecked, and they've got like so many timeouts, and you're kind of like wondering, why doesn't the coach just kind of step in and say, all right, guys, let's take a pause here. You know, that would be fairly common, that you just would not see teams use timeouts at all. But now it seems like a resource that's very effectively understood and used by everyone.
Yeah, for sure. The psychology side of competition has taken a bigger seat in a more professional scene. Oh, they're going to send it straight in again. Henny up close has found a second. That's so important, that collection. What a difference maker. Snappy finds himself on the site with 35 HP. able to squeeze the plant out, but now Shush has got so much to do. That is such an important hold for Gladiators. With one player on the hut in a smoke, you wondered how they could possibly defend that bomb site. So much variance that they'll probably be on the receiving end of, but Henny collects 2. Many times that round plays out in favor of NiP, but the Kalat is very helpful indeed. Henny ready to go battle sniper mode, put himself in a position to win. And now Gladiators are in a much better situation, but they need to keep building these rounds. They are few and far between.
Henny deep. Catches one. No punish from the T side just yet. NiP can't quite seem to find him amongst the smoke. He's a ninja. But they are the ninjas. Make it make sense. Reset back into lobby. And Jota is the one to receive the contact in ramp. It's a good off angle, but can he take down more than one? That's going to be his job here with the AK. We'll be looking for this. Good first kill, but the trade is in fast. Responsible NiP.
Downstairs they go. Henny watching hell. No rotation just yet from the CTs. Pops on the way, beeps heard. Wrinkle and Shush are quite low. 4 CTs on the rotation. Plenty of kits. Plenty of lead to throw at the problem. Oh, can't just find a second here. He's low on the bullets as well, but he squeezed in a second, and that's could make all the difference. Now down to a 2 versus 2. Where are the remaining 2? Snappy spotting Neckers. And that leaves Henny into the 1 versus 1. Quicker on the trigger finger, but just didn't make the connection. So much pressure. Shush low in control. That second frag meaning everything. He knew he was low on the magazine, but was still able to get just that bit more.
Gotta get more greed, James. You must be consumed by greed. Seven to 2. Pretty solid scoreline on the T side of Nuke. Problems continue here for Gaimin Gladiators. Henny back on the AWP though. He will be in the secret position, so looking to aggress up the stairs, but gets caught by Shush, who's in the vents. How did he get there? Oh no, that's catastrophic.
It's a nasty surprise, and he will pull players out of position. So many coming Jota's way. He won't collect 2, as Shush did in that position in the round prior. But Lucan's in a forward spot. He sees the player below. Oh, catches double doors as well. Snappy down to 21 HP. But with Phelps getting deleted, Lucan's in the clutch. 1v1. No util, no kits. Needs to find Wrinkle, who immediately opens the door. Bad plant for that final CT. That's a regressible one. Had no idea about the player downstairs, wreaking utter havoc. What is the impact of this round loss on their economy, I wonder?
About the flames that are on the guy's foot there, on his boots. Sure, those are flame retardant boots though. Fast pace outside here from NiP. They are sending it right now. They know there's no AWP, so it's a bit safer to do that. Oh my god, the players are just disappearing. They're being abducted in the night here. There's only 2 left, Henny and Jota. And the confidence with which NiP are storming the map at the moment is really telling as to the comfort they feel.
Bomb has been planted.
They're more comfortable with nuclear isotopes, I suppose.
Gaimin Gladiators may be in the water with those isotopes soon, because some key rounds have been lost here, and this really breaks the camel's back in this half, I think. They're going to be light years behind Ninjas in Pajamas once this half has reached its conclusion. I mean, even now, it'll probably get a little worse for them. Again, you saw in the body language on Dust2 how important that map win was for them. This looks like it will be another bad bout of Nuke. Perhaps this will also show them the importance of getting a competitive Nuke in the future, as they'll have plenty of time to think about that should they lose this game, because they'll be eliminated. It is 1-2, the record, the match record for both these teams at ESL Pro League. For one, their journey will end in this series. And that is looking likely for the South American squad.
Good opening there from the Gaimin Gladiators side. They've got to eke out this final round. 4v3 now, though, but with the confidence there for NiP, I'm sure that they're going to be fine at the moment. Two players there in the lobby, able to take down the trade onto Henny. And this might be the real problem. Ken is sneaking down to the lower site and now rejoined through the vents. Ken's found position. And right now, that means that the CTs, Gaimin Gladiators, they're out of position. They got to retake.
That's such an important duel. It means so much. But there is more to do. Utility to isolate fights. Harder for the T's to support each other now. The HG's there, though, but Ken loses his duel. It's down to Wrinkle with just a few bullets. The Neckers will get the better of him, and it will be what is honestly a desperate final round for Gaimin Gladiators as we switch sides. There'll still be reliance on the pistol, and it's still a tall mountain for them to climb.
Let's go. We are here looking to see whether NiP can just finally have an easy map, a match they can just put to bed, or if elimination will be here in store for Gaming Gladiators if they are if that is the case and Gaming Gladiators can't defend, or if some miracle strikes and Gaming Gladiators find some proficiency on Nuke that we're not familiar with, we're not aware of. This is the moment to do it.
Phelps trying to will his team into another map, playing off of his teammate. Bait and switch. Opening frag. E250 finally raised its head. Vital for the longer ranges on a T side. Sneaky one from Snappy. But the pistol round remains awkward for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Does he consider potential for somebody around the corner? Lucan may look to punish a reload. That's a few bullets away, though. Neckers will do it from range.
The chance here still for NiP to shut this down. Kaspersky, 1 versus 1, the duel against the P250. Well, based on everything that you said, we can see that everything is right with the roll. The P250 comes out on top at that range, and T side is going to be unsuccessful. Or successful, sorry. And that does give them something to work with, Gaming Gladiators. Obviously, though, again, this is one of the harder maps. If the CT side has a really good understanding of how to maximize these force buys, a little bit of variance sprinkled on top, it can be very painful for the T side. We'll see if Gaming Gladiators can navigate this. Smoke outside, of course, from both the T and the CTs. So for the CTs, it's suggesting that they can have a forward play, which will commit more utility here from the T side. Gaming Gladiators have to just be very cautious that there isn't a setup lurking here. There's fear everywhere. Oh no, wow.
My word.
Kaspersky.
That's great work. And now the scout rises. Feels like it just isn't to be on Nuke versus NiP. And he's not fired a bullet yet. I don't know if he's seen anybody. Probably not. And Wrinkle rises to eliminate them real quick. Just felt a bit outmatched in that round. The situation becomes ever worse, more dire for the squad. Is this the run, as they say?
It could very well be. Yeah, and now as we get into the next round, it's just pistols. Maybe this is what they need. They just need to run at them with pistols. Instead, he'll slow things down. And Kez, he's going to get dropped by Phelps. And Lucan does take down Kaspersky. So it is a 3v3. And ground has been gained here by Gaming Gladiators.
TT's charging to B. Jota's just baiting now. Having the sound cues. It's the urgency from the CT to concede their position. Shush will catch Phelps. That gives them the numbers advantage now. One being planted on A. There are kits and there's a lot of utility. Just showing some presence. As will Snappy. Molly for the CT vent will force Jota into the open to be extinguished by the M4 of Shush, and the retake will be successful. NiP move one step closer to a 2-2 match scoreline.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Eleven to 4. NiP, they are close to shutting the book on this one. Moving forward, surviving yet one more day. And this would bring them to 2-2 for a final elimination match or a qualifying match. just shutting down the door position. No entry again for Gaimin Gladiators. Maybe they've run out of ideas here. Again, on the pistols, not too much you can ask for. And we talked about how many dimensions there are for their T side, and just unfortunately for them, not really getting to start their T side with any level of buffer to work with to even find what could be a weakness for the NiP side. And these pistols looking to get shut down here at the ramp position. 12-4, match point now for NiP.
Gladiators facing elimination. I think it was always going to be like this on Nuke, which is why Dust2 was so essential for them. Pipped to the post by a capable ninjas in pajamas. Two kills and some AKs for what could be the final round. See if there's anything left for Gaimin Gladiators.
Every round the advantage is coming so easily for NiP. All quiet before the final push. Let me get Spursky. He's getting a little bored. He wants some action, and he's being waited for, but he actually gets a dink there. Almost kills Jota despite that disadvantage. And we know how Phelps can be a bit of a beast on the outside positions. He's also going to surprise his opponent. So not done just yet, Gaimin Gladiators. Still fight in them.
39 seconds. Phelps and Jota have a combined 11 HP. It's got an angle though. Gonna be standing for now, waiting for that rotation to come through. 26 seconds to get a bomb planted. Not sure if he knows where the final two are. There's the swing from Wrinkle. He will not wait. There is the victory for Ninjas in Pajamas, toppling Gaimin Gladiators on Dust2. After that, the hard work was done and Nuke was easy.